Hello and welcome everyone to Dual Attack. This is round one of WTC, Australia versus Sweden, and this is our second video of James versus Wictor. And I'm joined here by James as well as Tim. Do you want to say hi, guys?
Hey Connor, hey Tim, how you doing? I'm James, Cryx player for Numbats this year.
Yeah, nice. Hey, James. Thanks for coming on Dual Attack for our rewatch.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
Well, I say rewatch. This is literally the first time I'm seeing this game, and I'm super hyped.
Yeah, should be a good game. Looks to be a good game. Yeah.
Is it a good game? So. You played it. You probably have some insight, actually.
100%. 100%. Look, 2x speed is interesting. It's happening.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to say that. Also, just as another note before we get too stuck in, a bit of a shout out to Moment of Clarity, who obviously filmed all this stuff, and we're using their footage. So thank you so much. It looks like Victor's started. So do you know if you won the role, James?
He just went first. He just wanted field position. Racks were interesting this game. I racked Hellfire, notably. We both racked Ghost Walk and Carnage, being the Khythos mirror. But I racked Hellfire for the Shaven RFP. This lower game if possible, especially on Payload. And he thought about racking Calamity, thought about racking a few things, but he ended up racking Scything Touch, which was interesting. I think we talked about it afterwards, and we agreed that Calamity probably would have been better, or even Hellfire.
So, James, what do you like looking? You get dropped into like the mirror. What did you like tech for the mirror? Did you build this list thinking, if I get the mirror, I thank God I've got this piece?
Yes, absolutely. One of the takeaways I had from the event was speaking to all the Cryx players. They all sort of thought that their list was best in the mirror. Myself included, Wictor included. My tech was obviously all the Incorp in the Khythos list. There's not actually a lot of magical in Cryx. It's basically on other Incorp, and only the Skarlock Lieutenant can give it out. But funnily enough, I had this down as a green. With the benefit of hindsight, definitely not a green, guys. Yeah, I learned that pretty fast. My list very much struggles with the attacks. That he's got like 5 squads of Mechanithralls. It's a lot of bodies.
I was going to say something very similar, which is that you look like you might struggle with the volume of attack. I think because it's funny your comment about Cryx. So for those who don't know, I also was playing Cryx. I was on the other Australian team, and I also thought I was well matched into Cryx. For similar reasons to you, I thought it was an incorporeal game, but I guess it depends on what type of Cryx. Like this Cryx you're running into, do they have any incorporeal?
0 incorporeal.
So like it's almost 2 different game plans running into each other.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got Brutes rules. I have Criterion, Criterion 2. The only real significant overlap is that we're both spamming Sludge rules. Objectively correct decision. Crucially as well, he has double Skarlock in this list, which means he can spread and give multiple sources of magical where he needs to.
Were you aware of that going into it?
Yes. In my head, and in the practice, I always thought this was going to be a pretty slow game. As it turns out, it's an incredibly fast game. So I thought that I have Doomspitter Raptors, I have pieces for more sort of removal at range and like a slow game, and you really just don't get to leverage it in this matchup, especially on this sort of board. It's a good thing, honestly, that it was Payload rather, because I think a really live scenario, it's difficult. Like my matchup gets worse.
Yeah, it's even the oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Do you say that? I'll pick up. Do you say it's like a fast game because he just throws all his trash in your face. Is that what happens? Or spoilers, I guess. You're just about to see it if you're watching.
Yeah, look, Khythos, I subscribe to this sort of theory about like certain game plans or certain casters or armies being able to have very forcing lines, which is like classically, I like this sort of play style as well, which is you can say the game's going to end or the game's going to terminate like very fast. A lot of shove feats can basically say, deal with me or lose. And if you deal with me, I lose. If you don't, I win. Khythos can play that style, which means that if he wants the game to basically be decided next turn, he can. Same with me. And so there are other casters, like a lot of gun lines, for example, classically just can't. They just can't assert themselves well enough to have that.
They require that turn on turn.
Yes,
totally.
Absolutely.
I played diggers in the WTC. I was on Connor's team, Rockin' team, as was the Numbats. But I definitely can, I can preach that, James. Like the 2 games I lost on the second day, I totally felt that when, like in both games, I got shoved. And exactly what you described, I felt. I was like, damn, like I didn't want that to happen.
Yes,
absolutely. I remembered my question from earlier too, which comes back to this point, which was you were talking about racking Hellfire. And I think one of the challenges with Hellfire is Hellfire expects you to get turn-on-turn value.
Yeah, absolutely. And I cast it twice in this game. And the one was turn 1 to get rid of one of the Criterions. I sat there and I actually spent a shameful amount of time actually sitting there wondering whether I needed to lucky penny for it. And I ended up lucky pennying turn 1 just so I could boost 2 Hellfires should I need it into the Criterion.
Yeah.
So I was just like, wow, not my proudest moment, that's for sure. But yeah, look, he just ran up turn 1. I've sort of shuffled. I'm really, really trying to respect a lot of these ranges because I know that if he gets to hit me first and feet on top of it, it's going to be very, very hard to play the game. So I feel here that I very much need to respect the threat ranges. And the only things that I've offered up are the sludge rolls down the bottom here near that blue tank, because I'm happy for him to swing on sludge rolls with mech thralls all day.
Yeah, and other sludge thralls don't kill sludge thralls very well either, so it's hard for him to kind of range pressure you out there. I've got a quick question for you, which I assume a lot of the audience will be wondering, which was, why did you take so much incorporeal with a caster whose feat specifically says it doesn't work with incorporeal?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was one of these things which we were mucking around, testing different lists, testing different things, and for me, the inspiration basically came from a game that we played against each other, Connor, at Big Champs. Well, on HatoCon it would have been one of the sort of big events in Australia. And you had a squad of Night Terrors in your Khythos list, and I was playing Omidamos, and I couldn't walk near the things because first they would just remove whatever they attacked, and then secondly, I realized with Repo 3 and feet, there'd be Def 17 and just impossible to deal with. And so I found that really, really quite strong. And I played it, I tested it. I liked machine rates as well, specifically for a lot of the Signar matchups. And so it all sort of fell into place. And I came into Cryx very late. So I liked the idea that I was pivoting into something that people maybe hadn't played into a lot of before. It felt like it could help level the playing field by throwing a little bit of a surprise attack.
Yeah, no, that's great. I also find that Khythos is very slow, which is sort of a bit unintuitive for Cryx lists. And the Night Terrors help with that.
Oh, yes. Getting turn 1 pressure as well if you go first. If you have Night Terrors versus not having Night Terrors, the difference is astronomical. They also get good flanking models. Yeah, a lot of options, a lot of power. Go on walkabouts.
Yeah. The camera just randomly pivots sometimes.
Very good, very good. You can tell when it's tuned into the stream, eh? Yeah, the stream setup was actually so lovely. It was good. And
I recommend anyone who's enjoying this to go back and watch the actual streams. Obviously, we're only covering the Australian ones. There's a lot more coverage from every round, but there was sort of commentary from the booth as well. So I think these videos are table audio, but also like at the time when they were streaming live, there was a bit of streaming over it, and they cut between the games.
Yeah, they did a magnificent job. So well done. I loved the maybe we'll see the angle in this. Oh, were you on table one? I think one table had this amazing panning angle at like eye level to the figurines, and oh man, it was so cinematic. It was so cool. I don't know if you're on the table with that camera.
Table one, I believe. I don't know if that's the table though.
Yeah. Oh, damn. It was cool. It was really cool.
So here, Sludge Rules, I left him in range. Here he was a bit of a misplay from me, I think. There was huge risk here, and if he gets to clear out the some of the blocking models, he can wipe my whole Night Terror unit here on the bottom. I left them in charge ranges thinking that they would be safe, but they got given magical weapons. He ghost walked the Skarlock, who walked through the building, who gave out magical weapons. Sludge Rules charged in, and he got some pretty unlucky dice that he didn't kill more than just one Night Terror.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because this is actually something. Once again, I've played the mirror a bit with, or I guess Josh Dickinson's a local of ours, also a member of Sixes to Win, which you're a podcast you're on, James. He normally runs Sepsira, but I've played this, the Cryx mirror in Sepsira, and I have found that Sigil of Power on the Sludge Thralls can really do work on the Night Terrors. They need 8s to hit, but when you're spraying and hitting multiple models and all the rest of that jazz, like you can do pretty good work on them.
With Night Terrors too, what I always learned the hard way, right, in your list, James, you have to kill all of them, otherwise they just keep coming back.
Yes, and that's hugely powerful. Night Terrors with inbuilt Repo 3 really get to abuse that movement to always keep one alive. So you can be very aggressive with one Night Terror, force them to deal with it, and then just bring it back and reposition.
Yeah, 100%. That's
very, very good. I wish I was a faster player. I feel like I could leverage it more.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Is he just measuring out some charges here? Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So we never actually talked it through, but his plan here is he wants to knock out these Sludge Rules so that he can get a Raptor in position to finish off my Night Terrors. And so if he does so, he's basically already collapsed my south flank.
Yeah. And he'd be doing that with dead weights, I assume.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Although, a quick correction on earlier, we said that Wictor doesn't have any incorporeal, but I can see the Furies there.
Ah, yes, of course. Yes, naturally. An absolute staple in so many Cryx lists. They are very good. They are really good.
Yeah.
They continually overperform, I think. It's good.
Yeah. And so he's just moved Khythos up here. So this is his feat turn as well.
Yeah, so he feats here, which I was surprised at the time, but he's just basically trying to take a lot of board position and initiative away from me. He rolls out, it seems like he's fishing very hard for this sort of bottom of the table play, which would be annoying because I deployed a lot of my power units to the bottom, hoping to sort of flip the board, so to speak, like cut the board diagonally, with my strong side being the south of this board. So in come the Mechanithralls, and it's getting done by Mechanithralls with Sludge Rules, because you're just war criming each other, something fierce.
Yeah.
You deserve each other, that's fine.
Yeah, big time. So it's interesting. Yeah, so it gets rid of one. Oh, here we go. No, it wasn't the Night Terror, actually. What he's trying to do is finish off the full Sludge Thrall unit to eliminate it. Which would arguably be even worse, because Sludge Thralls into his Mech Thralls, like they're the only thing that can deal with it.
Yeah, I guess if he's sacrificing a full unit of Mech Thralls to take out a full unit of Sludge Thralls, that's sort of up on his end.
Yes, absolutely. He respects a lot of my charge ranges, which I found quite curious. just because I'm almost never wanting to swing like a lot into Khythos feet turn, even with Carnage. So I really feel like he could have disrespected. Like I think he could have just ran half of these models he's currently shuffling basically straight at me, and it would have put me under a lot more pressure.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected him to do, to be honest. That's why I asked it. Like, did he just throw all his... They're kind of just like dickheads, right? Like, you just want to put them up there and make you spend clock, basically, next turn.
Like, my theory of this is you just want to be just skyrocketing the variance where possible. So just throw them in there, force them to make attacks. Like, I think that this is... I don't know if it's strictly a misplay, but I think that you give you some opportunities by just throwing them in.
Yeah, it's interesting in terms of, and I'm not sure whether this is just a this game thing or if this is how Wictor normally plays or whatever it is, but I find that Cryx are best when they are played kind of slowly because you get maximum value of grinding stuff out. So if you're not fully committing this turn, I'd be tempted to maybe not feed and try hold back more. But once again, I also just haven't played this type of army that Victor's playing as well. So maybe I just don't understand it.
Very much laying a trap here because it's forcing me to come and interact with a lot of the scenario elements. And as soon as I do, I'm going to get absolutely hosed. So, yeah, very threatening.
I can't wait to see what you do. I'm literally on the edge of my seat. By the way, I've just finished my Maxi Bon. I'd recommend them.
Nice.
Yeah. If you don't know, if you're an international viewer, don't know what a Maxi Bon is. It's like a ice cream sandwich. Yeah, really good, but just a hot tip for a night. Anyway, back to the.
What's your cut, man? What's your cut, man? Yeah. So here I'm just asking a lot of the necessary sort of Khythos feet questions, which is where do you start, where does it finish, how much does your feet cover, which is absolutely everything conceivable that I'd want to hit in melee is covered. So here, yeah, roughly game plan wise, there's not a lot given to me as far as options go. So I know immediately going into this that I want to try and wipe this squad down the bottom. I'm really trying to put a lot of pressure on. Like, I don't think he can deal with machine rates very well, or Incorp very well, since it looks like very weak side on his 50 mil. So I really want to try and take advantage of that. On the top side, I'm looking at this with horror, and this is where I start realizing very rapidly that I might have bitten off more than I can chew here, because I'm looking at all these bodies and realizing I'm not going to be able to get through a lot of these. And so I'm increasingly thinking, man, do I have to feed this turn? Do I jam? What options I have available?
That might be why he went for the Sludge Thralls as well. Like the Sludge Thrall sprays are one of the few models you've got to really chew through his models.
Yes. I also, we talked about this after the game. I deployed both my Sludge Thrall squads on the bottom side. If I had my time again, I would absolutely split them up. Or just deploy them opposite, because I deployed second. Maybe I just sit them opposite the huge mass of single wound infantry. Might have been slightly smarter for me.
You live
and I
and you
didn't.
learn, though. You live and you learn.
Yeah, so definitely took that as a takeaway. So I sat there, I was just lamenting that basically this whole turn. I'm like, nice, I can't even touch this huge shambling horde, which is sitting in the middle of the map. So I'm like, cool, this is great.
You've got 3 Raptors, right? Do they have the AoE gun on them?
Yes, I've got so I've got 2 with the AoE gun, and which gives eyeless sight, and then 1 without. And I'm going to see if I can spot which ones are which. I'm pretty sure that the one right in the middle of the board is the one without a gun, and then the 2 with the guns are up towards the top of the screen.
Yeah. And it looks like you've just had the perfect Necrosurgeon turn of bringing back 2 Sludge Thralls and 1 Night Terror.
Yes, very relieved that they came back. So I'm like, nice, feeling good. So that's hugely powerful, because that means that he gains some tempo, but ultimately I get that squad of mech thralls and I'm still fight fit, which is amazing. And in fact, in some senses, having like a 1 HP sludge thrall can be more useful, because it makes it easier for me to blow them up in advantageous spots sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
How are you killing these ones up the top there?
That was my Doomsday Raptor, just moving
Oh,
up
yeah.
towards that my 50 mil. Just took a shot. I was just boosting the hit, just got the one focus, and then I got lucky with the splash damage. Forced 2 toughs, and I think killed 2 models.
Yeah. What's the card he's got? Is he like duck and covered something?
Yeah, he's duck and covered his brute thralls in the middle there. So I was just like, nice. Very, very, very tough targets. It's good. There were potentially worlds where I was going to try and like push them around with Khythos, but after that, it doesn't really work. Duck and cover was interesting. I think he's got so many shield guards on those models, and the only thing is I can't shield guard would also ignore duck and cover, but I guess it's more for like dead weights, I suppose, or hellfire. So it never matters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
At least he is. I always loved duck and cover as an idea in a lot of the testing, and then I realized half the games were actually wanted, like where I thought that I would use it in the matchup, I just didn't use it. I just always felt like there was a better choice and a better opportunity.
when I originally started testing, I just thought duck and cover on the Furies was the way to go. And maybe that's why it's less like it feels like a natural fit. I think part of like practice was acknowledging my, I guess, deficits, and one of them is I just always forgot duck and cover. So even if it was the correct choice in theory, if I never used it in practice, I just cut it.
Yeah, correct. One of the reasons I love defenses so much is, well, you can still forget to play it, I suppose, but it just exists. It's so nice.
So,
go on.
Before, James, you said he's making you interact, with the scenario elements. Does that change the win con that you were going for? And you said like this is quite a fast game. Are you still, is the win condition you're going for still scenario here, or you're just trying to not lose at this point? Like what's in your brain while you're playing?
Yeah, heading in, I was fully, I guess maybe wishfully hoping for a slow scenario game where I can leverage. I'm going to rack Hellfire. I've got arc nodes, got more guns than he does, and just really sort of play keep away. But very slow scenario Payload is, and increasingly I'm realizing, I'm just not going to win attrition here. Scenario is going to take a long time. Maybe I just start looking for like clockouts or assassination. Right here, I'm taking my time coming to it because I'm really just sort of agonizing over a lot of these decisions in the middle. Obviously, just doing the hardest possible stuff first. Typical games. I really wish, looking at this turn back, that I just swung on the Night Terrors, swung on the Sludge Thralls down the bottom right at the start of the turn, and sort of knew where I stood with that, and then moved on to the difficult stuff. But alas,
when I'm in that like analysis paralysis, I literally say out loud, just do the stuff that doesn't matter first. And like sort of my brain is sort of ticking away. I'm still thinking about the hard stuff, but I think you're describing like the sludge straw is probably the thing that doesn't matter or whatever. Getting that out of the road, so you're not wasting time thinking about stuff. Is that?
Yes,
I don't know. That could be terrible advice, but that's what I do.
No, I rate it. I think that's excellent. Excellent game plan, to be honest. Something that I'd benefit a lot from, and that's also something I've been trying to consciously do. I was so impressed in my 5th round game facing Juris. He was so swift, man, and like he would sort of pause and think for a few seconds, and you'd literally see him. He's trained himself or something, where he's just like, "Nah, it's been too long." He's like, "Cool, I'm just gonna move this and do an action." And he was so fast. So it's very much an asset.
Yeah, I think part of this kind of top level play, it's something I've talked a lot about, Tim, is this like the game gets in some ways messier. Like you make more mistakes, partly because you're not doing takebacks, but also because you're because you're trying to play quickly to make sure you actually have time to do your outs at the end. You're trying to make sure you don't make game-losing mistakes, but it's okay making small mistakes, and understanding what's a small mistake and is okay to make, as opposed to a game-losing mistake or whatever, is really important. Like, I guess prioritizing your mental load, maybe.
Yes, absolutely. Just sort of, giving yourself enough time at the end to come through, really. Going into these sludge falls finally. Oh, James. I was really, I think, just expecting this to be super easy. And then, of course, I realized I've got no Furies. I've got no Scything Touch. I've got no Calamity, nothing. I'm just doing these at base values. And off 5 is actually really not great at killing. There's 13s to kill. Or tough. And I get rid of 1, and he's absolutely just war crimed my.
Yeah, I was wondering where this is going to go, because if you can 1-for-1, like I generally assume that if a Raptor goes into a Sludge Thrall, that the Sludge Thrall will kill the Raptor in return. So really what you're relying on is the fact that one Raptor kills one Sludge Thrall, dies, and then the next Raptor kills the next Sludge Thrall. But the moment you had to unincorporeal the second Night Terror and still not have killed the Sludge Thrall, that was not good, not good times.
So then he just removed them both, and I'm just like, oh boy, okay, this suddenly got a lot more difficult. Because I was just expecting, one will kill one, the other one will kill one, no worries, easy cleanup. And I just rolled out all my Sludge Thralls. I only had, I believe, the one, because I summoned the other 2. Failed to kill it. So now here comes Machinery trying to do his darndest. And there goes the Machine Race.
Aren't Sludge Thralls such a fair and balanced unit?
It was the most cursed. He's like, so what? Dice off 2 needing 10s? 6, 4, 10. I'm like, oh, see you later. And so I was just sitting here thinking, I'm just going to drip feed all these guys in and just like contest his 50 and win on scenario. And I'm looking at it being like, where'd my pieces go? So here I'm trying to do something of the opposite. Obviously on Khythos feat turn, swinging into incorporeal is basically just swinging as per normal. So I'm basically trying to really scalpel out his Furies. And I got some good dice rolls earlier with my Sludge Thralls, and so just removed the whole Fury squad. So he's hitting significantly less hard now, which is good.
Feels like this is a pretty pivotal turn for you. Like, you need to do work, and you've pretty much gone in with everything. I assume you feat.
Yes, this is indeed a feat turn for me. Going with Night Terrors, I really ummed and ahed about this, but I figured basically based off the middle section of the map, I'm going to be feating. If I'm going to be feating, I want to be getting Def 17 models in his face and jamming up as much as I can.
Yeah, it's one of those weird bits where your Night Terror is actually in some ways safer by attacking and getting rid of the incorporeal.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a really astute observation, Connor, because at this high level, you just said something that's like really crazy, which is you're safer when you go in and attack, which is not always obvious when you're playing this game.
And also when you lose your defensive tech, which is incorporeal.
Yeah, 100%.
The meat of the table of the turn is done, and now just sort of shuffle. Trying to position my thralls to provide some shield guards, but also be in a position to counterpunch next turn, as I'll probably need them.
Yeah, look, I hate to be a hater, James, but I'm not exactly liking where you're ending this turn. It's I like that you're feating second. Typically, if 2 people have a defensive feat, the person who feats second is in a better position. But I'm not sure you got a massive. I guess you got the Furies, right? That's a pretty big win, but you've sort of put everything else into attack range.
Yeah. So here, I'm sitting here, and mentally, I'm probably hoping to be. I've knocked out at least another squad of mech thralls, really. Still got a lot of bodies, and yeah, I'm going to be maybe rapidly running out of attacks. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've got an Iron Lich Commander as well in my list. So if he goes into critters, I can start getting some souls, start getting some rerolls, which will be useful. But yeah, I think the main thing, with the benefit of hindsight, I don't think I should have gone for his Furies. I think I could have just gone in with the Sludge Thralls. I shouldn't have given in my Furies. And then if I could find a way to knock out those Sludge Thralls on the south better, I think that would have been a significantly superior plan.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, we don't have to keep labouring the point, but I feel like you fed a lot into those Sludge Thralls and the whole unit didn't even die.
yeah, that was a stinger. That was a stinger. So this is the stage where earlier I mentioned, like, oh, look, I'm playing for scenario. And to be honest, at the end of the turn, I looked at our clocks and I went, okay, I'm now playing to clock this guy. He's now got, can't read that fully, but he's got about half an hour left.
I think it's just, as of now on 29 minutes. And the fact that he's got half an hour into a Khythos feed tends to be not good. I guess maybe that's a tip for anyone playing into Khythos out there, is you want to be up on clock when you run into the feed, because it can chew through your time.
And why do you say that? Just because you have to think about how to get the pieces that are, high defense? Is that why?
It's just, well, I guess the first part of your sentence is correct. You have to think. You have to think so much. The fact that it can react to you and mess up your plan midway through, like, there's, depending on where the game state's at, maybe the correct answer is actually not to make a lot of attacks into a Khythos feat. Try just speed through the turn, put yourself in the same position, clock back over, and give them almost like a bit of a double turn. But if you are going to try to work into the Khythos feat, it's just going to take longer than any other turn you've got.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that James's gyrating knee really gives you an insight into your mindset there. Actually, at this point in the tournament, I thought there was a small earthquake.
That's
but
right.
it's good. It's good to have insight into what that was.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to not give it away, fidgeting with all the dice, because I'm expecting to get out.
At double speed, the knee goes hard at double speed.
Yeah, I noticed that turn one, although we were like mid conversation, that you look like you're vibrating.
Yes. I'm sitting here and the knee's just going.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's a great close up. You've done that paint job on your Necrofactorium. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, shout out to Robin. I shamelessly borrowed, basically. I borrowed from 3 different Cryx players.
Nice, that's awesome.
To get the whole army. So, yeah, thanks everyone. Absolutely.
It's probably a good time to shout out that, like, the Australian community all came together. Like, I think a bunch of us had borrowed models, and like, some of the teams lent to the other teams. And I think there was like the juniors was lent someone lent a junior to someone, and we all borrowed armies and people chipped in to paint. It was really cool. Really cool.
I think that's my measuring tape too.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go.
My measuring tape, James. That's been missing for months.
There you go. Oh, I stole that shamelessly off Pete, so I think it's been
great.
about.
Been in circulation for a while.
Absolutely.
Or if you're your opponent here, what are you trying to do into you? You know what I mean? Like, if you're on his side, what are you trying to do?
Oh yeah, exactly what he's doing here. I think Furies are a really safe first option to attack. They don't punish. It's very consistent. You just sort of remove it and sort of simplify. Here, I would just be absolutely trying to leverage everything about my top swarm if I'm Wictor. I think I've got such an overwatch there. I'd be looking at the Night Terrors and maybe the Critters and trying to remove it. Critters are good targets because they're just fairly easy to hit, even under Khythos feat. Yeah, I think that if you just play like a fairly conservative turn here as Wictor, I think it can be very, very damaging. You don't take up too much time. You're still up on attrition. Feats are gone. I think it looks like that.
I think I'd be tempted to try take out your Furies, which he's just done, and then take out that sludge thrower unit, just so you can score that objective. So you can score the 40 and your 50, and then if you can maybe do a bit of damage on those night terrors, and then probably just call it a day and clock over. Oh, and then just twiddle your thumb with that bottom. Oh, there's only one sludge thrower down there. Just keep him in the space that engages everyone that's around.
Yeah. I will say, getting rid of the Furies, although I don't think it was a great play by me, is paying dividends. He's now swung into my sludge rolls a few times and failed to knock one off, which is good. So kind of wasn't completely useless. But this is good now. I'm really making him think like a lot here, which I'm good about. You see me visibly calming down as he's taking more and more time, and he's entering the tank to try and figure this out.
We said the turn started with 30 minutes, and we're now on 20.
Yeah, so if you had to rate his like clock ability from 1 to James, how cooked is he?
Right now, well, he's playing James, so he's still on about a 1, unfortunately. If he was playing anyone else, I reckon it'd be a lot more approaching the James scale. But yes, I have every opportunity to give this right back. That's for sure.
No, you've got a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, you currently have 24 minutes on your clock, although you've already been over the hump, right? His last turn was his feet turn, so you got through it.
So that is actually the second sludge fall just there. I think that would have died if Furies were back up, or at least being toughed. Now, at a certain stage, I actually wanted these to die because I was looking at this sludge straw, just being like, look, it's surrounded by absolutely everything. Like, surely I want this to. But yeah, just Khythos feet moved. He got very unlucky with some of this dice here. He missed a lot of sort of 6s and 7s here. And so I just, feeted out, still contesting that middle 40 mil. And now he's basically unable to score it from here.
Dang.
Is Wictor? I know you and I are really hot on Criterions and ILC. Is Wictor running Criterions in the ILC?
He is running 1 Critters and no ILC. I think that the Australian meta was collectively incredibly high on that as a package. And I don't know about you, but I felt like it was pretty lukewarm from the rest of the metas on that as like a sort of soul economy package.
Yeah, and I guess the other piece is I'm pretty sure you and I are the only ones running the machine wraiths as well.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. They, broadly speaking, the Americans leaned a lot more on like brute thralls, and I think the Europeans didn't play a lot of Cryx, to be honest.
I mean, if anybody watched your machine wraiths performance in this game, they probably wouldn't add it to their list.
Yeah, I think the kill tally is 1 sludge thrall, which ended up killing the machine wraith, and 1 electrical. So yeah, not doing too great. The KD is not looking great.
Machine wraiths sing into, I mean, A constructs, A warjacks or B living models. Undead is not its forte.
No, that's okay. Secrets tech will stay secret.
Yeah, so he's just sent in, what is this, more Mechanithralls? Yeah, he's really trying to knock out these night terrors. Throwing the kitchen sink at it at the moment. Khythos is obviously already moved. And so he's just like, cool, just get rid of these, clean it up, and he's probably in like a really quite a strong position.
So his Khythos is already gone and cast Carnage, right?
Yeah, so he's led the turn. He took a shot, I shield guarded it. He went, okay, that's not going to work, and just cast Carnage and camped a little. So yeah, he's camping 3, looking pretty safe. It's looking not great. Here I'm basically thinking, like if the turn ends right now, how am I going to try and clock this guy? And I sat there and I was like, wow, I've never had to think about this before, really. But we'll see how we go.
At this point in the game, and again, I haven't looked up the results, and I remember that you won this round, but I can't remember if you lost or won. And if I didn't, I don't know the result. I actually have no idea who's going to win from here, other than that you've got quite a bit more clock than him.
Yeah, it's going to come down to clock versus attrition, ultimately. But my night terrors are moonwalking all around the place. Like, they are going absolutely everywhere, man. So, I think he's missed the top Night Terror about 4 or 5 times. He's missed this Night Terror currently in the middle here. I think this is the 4th time. Crucially, even with Carnage, he's on 8s to hit with Mech Thralls and Brute Thralls, and 9s to hit with Sludge Thralls. So he's looking for 8s and 9s, but yeah, he's just not finding any of them at the moment.
I'm a bit worried about where the moonwalking Night Terrors are going, and I wonder, and this is kind of going back to the point I raised earlier of like when you're playing into Khythos feed or another, skew push feed, sometimes it's best not to engage and just to kind of limit things. And I wonder if he would have been better making some attacks, and as you start to move around, just being like, this is getting scary, and then like surrounding the Fury in a position where it just can't apparate, so that it's kind of locked into where it is.
Yes, absolutely. Like I described that as sort of like you're hanging yourself, like you're sort of struggling into a noose and just doing your own damage. There's a certain level where you just got to stop struggling and just sort of accept whatever level of loss you're currently at.
Yeah, and if this conversation's brought up some feelings for anyone, feel free to call Lifeline.
Absolutely, yes.
It's actually International Men's Day today. That we're
Really?
reporting on. Yeah, legitimately, it's International Men's Day. So if there's any men watching, yeah.
What's the demographic like in Dual Attack?
I don't know if it would be. This is a famous, like our viewership is famously high in women.
Yeah. But on International Men's Day, we need the support of women as well. So if you're one of our majority of women watchers, show your support to men.
Excellent. Back on game news, thanks for that, Tim. Back on the game news, I have concerns about how much is going into this one Fury.
Yeah, I think he's past wherever the kitchen sink is. He's past it now.
Your Fury's just been slowly moving towards his caster.
Yeah, I was just like, oh yeah.
I think your Fury's moved like 7-8 inches or something.
Oh, and the rest, it's he's gone a distance. So we're now into my turn. At the start of this turn, you'll see me think for a little bit here and there. I'm just taking my vengeance moves, and you'll see me enter the tank. I'm like, cool. Do I go for clock? I've got a lot more time than him, or do I go for an assassination?
I mean,
And
I was just going to say, is there any reason you can't do both? How much time do you have to commit to an assassination attempt with the Night Terror?
No, sorry, Night Terror. Yeah.
If I'm just going raw Night Terrors, not very much at all. But if I add resources to it, the run can look quite good. But that then requires activations from, I don't know, like a Raptor, from...
I see your point. So you want to do the point of damage to get the finisher. You probably want to... I'm not sure where Siding Touch is, but if it's not on those Raptors, you want it on the Raptors. Maybe, yeah.
I don't have Siding Touch this game, but I want to cast Carnage. I want like rerolls if I can. Like all these sort of things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So sorry, going.
So I was thinking about it.
You were Hellmouth, Scything Touch, and Ghostwalk, right?
Ghostwalk, Hellfire, and Carnage.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
So I look at it. I absolutely forget that I don't have Pathfinder here. Like an absolute idiot. And then I'm out of respawn. So yeah, just truly fantastic play here.
Oh god, those things! How many times do those things come back? So many times.
Yeah, so I finally picked up the Sludge Thrall down the bottom, I think, or I hope. I don't know if it actually ended up happening or not. I'm just doing some of the things where I'm just like, cool. I'm still trying to keep all options open. I like that, engaging, contesting. I'm still sort of weighing up whether I can just shove forward and clock them out in time.
You're substantially up on clock, right? So I can't read that either. Connor, what's the clock?
9 to 17, it looks like at the moment.
Oh, yeah. You've got a big clock advantage.
Yeah. I'm looking at it, I'm just like, oh, look, I'm not scoring anything other than my 50 here. It's like a whopping score of, I think, 1-2 or 2-2. There's going to be no decisive scenario here. My other fear of going for a clock win is that my top side is probably literally one turn away from being just done, and I'm not able to ever get my own 50 back. And then his ability to sit there and say, oh, I've only got 3 minutes, but I can just clock back to you, and I'll just win the game because you're just out of pieces. I think if this was like a game where I can resolve my sludge thralls down the bottom faster, and I can get them more in towards the middle of the map, up towards, again, if I had them opposite his infantry swarm, I'd feel a lot better. But that didn't really eventuate, so I'm not feeling actually great about clocking him out here. Another thing is I've learned bitterly from a lot of these online leagues into their ability to shovel at rapid speed with a few minutes left is actually incredible. So yeah, I continue to think about it, and I'm just like, oh, look, if I have 10 minutes left to his 9, my ability to clock him fundamentally doesn't change that much. So thinking about it now, I'm thinking, all right, how am I going to do this?
So you think that essentially right here is the moment you're going to flick over from I need to win by clock to I need to win by assassination?
Yes. The bout here is where I'm like really just.
I think maybe that's a bit of an underrated skill is figuring out what your win condition is. Because I definitely know that I had a game into the Italian team, which they were great, but like I got halfway through this game and I suddenly had this realization that this game is going to be a clock game. And just knowing what your win condition is, and then suddenly you can like focus on that, I found really interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I played a few games where win or lose, when your opponent gets fixated on like killing your stuff or swinging hard one way and lose focus of the game that you're playing, it's when like you get ahead. And there's so many games across the WTC that you watch that go down to the wire where one of the players is really clear what they're doing in the last 3 minutes, and they totally know like how they're going to win, in spite of them only having like 4 pieces to the opponent's 20, and they win. It's so interesting to watch. Really cool.
That, like what you just described, actually, I think maybe I didn't see the whole game. I saw the aftermath of maybe your game into Ben. Sort of was reminiscent of that.
Yes, yeah, that was an incredible game. Ben is an incredible opponent. He was fantastic. Yeah, that's definitely. I had one of those games as well, for sure. I only did it once in the whole weekend, but it fatigues you. I do admit it really fatigues you if you have to really go galaxy brain and figure out how to win. With 4 pieces against 20, it's a lot harder than winning with 20 pieces against 4, for sure. Yeah, that's why I love Warmachine. Right, Warmachine's awesome.
What game? Yeah, I've just you would have seen him marking a lot of damage on Khythos. I went for a Hellfire, my second casting just ever, and I absolutely did him dirty. I think I rolled 654 for damage at dice off 2, and just absolutely done him. So as soon as that happened, I went, okay, cool, all in. So that was like my final opportunity to get out. Was I can cast that Hellfire. If that completely flops, I no longer go for the play. I'm just going to shove everything in and just pray. But it went off. I got some level of damage and took a focus out. So I'm just going all in for the kill.
Yeah, and I think going back to what we were saying just before, being able to not only know what your current game plan is, but also not be so fixated on it that you're unwilling to deviate. Like your point just there about this is my bid. If it lands, I'm all in. If it doesn't, I still can pull out. Like, not just going all in for the sake of it because you've got that sunk cost fallacy or anything like that.
Here I know that it's one way or another, this is going to end with me charging Night Terrors in. It's just a matter of what else can I find. So my other Night Terror up top was still engaged by the Sludge Scroll, and even with Apparition, it was still engaged. So I slammed it with a Raptor to get it out, so the top Night Terror can still get a charge attack. And then I'm just thinking, what else can I throw at the cast to get any more damage onto it? So I have an ILC. He has Criterions with souls. So I'm like, cool. If I can get another soul, it's even better. Because I used my soul, my only soul to start the turn, re-rolling Khythos' Hellfire. So I do get lucky. I get the damage. He doesn't tough. And I get the soul from the Criterion, which makes me feel, again, even better about this run. And then I'm thinking, cool, I can get a Sludge Scroll spray. Unlikely to hit, but maybe I can get some more damage,
I like
so
your
that attack
point.
really broke. Oh, sorry, Connor. That attack
Oh,
really.
Oh, you go.
I was just going to say it really broke the game right open. The high damage attack just broke it open for him. You were like, yep, all right, awesome. Sorry, go Connor.
Oh, I was just going to say, I like the use of the power attacks on the Raptors. I never did it, but I had in my back pocket that Raptors can slam and headbutt, which I think is really cute.
Yeah. I lost the OTC round 3 game. Not this year's OTC, last year, because I didn't slam with one of my horrors playing Infernals. And looking back at it, it was just like, okay, if I'd just known this existed, I could have won this game, and I didn't. Anyway, speaking of winning games, just went in with the Night Terrors and just spiked it. I hit the charge, did a lot of damage. Second attack missed, opted not to reroll. And then the last Night Terror with his charge attack did the job.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I think that's once you hit the Hellfire, the fact that you've got the 3d6 on the charge with the Raptor and they have finisher, like the odds are pretty high at that point. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I think definitely a game that I was basically losing all the way until he probably struggled a little bit too much into Khythos' feet, and both gave me a clock advantage and the Night Terror angle onto his caster. I really do think that if you'd taken a more conservative turn into my feet turn, I would have had a significantly tougher time.
Yeah. Is there I mean, we're at the end of the video, but is there anything you want to shout out or any kind of thing you want to end the video with?
I'll very simply say, look, I had thanks to everyone that I met and played against at WTC. It was a fantastic event, and it was great seeing a lot of old faces that I'd met at one event prior. But and on top, thanks to everyone who gave their support in the sort of Australia, cheering us on. Didn't get it done, but it was still fantastic. All the support we got.
Excellent. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.
Bye.